It is finally here. UFC 319 happens this weekend. Dricus du Plessis versus Hamza Chimaev. I'm going to give you my prediction and breakdown for every single fight on the card, starting with early prelims going all the way up to the main event. So let's get started. So, starting first on the card, we've got Alibi Idris versus Josef Morales. So these guys are from the Ultimate Fighter right now, pretty much from what we've seen. Alibi Idris is gonna win. I don't even know if that's how you say his last name, just from what I've seen. Joseph Morales has been in the UFC before. Not much there. He got beat by Davison Figueiredo by knockout. And he lost I want to say a close decision against somebody. I can't remember the name of. But just from what we've seen on the Ultimate Fighter, Alibi Idris is going to win this fight. Not much to really go off of here, other than obviously what we've seen. We haven't seen much. Next one, Rodrigo Cezinado versus Danil Donchekno. Danil's going to win this from everything I've seen. Let's just double check real quick. Yeah, don't even have much over here on Tapology. From what I've seen and what everybody's saying, Danil's going to win this one fairly easily. Haven't watched The Ultimate Fighter, I'm not going to lie. Honestly, don't really care to either. It's not what it used to be at all, by any means. But yeah, Danil Doncheko. We're going to go by finish in this fight. Alibi, I'll go by finish too. Both of these finishes. Alibi fight, I'm going to go with third round. Danil, I'm going to go with first round. Now to something we can actually talk about. A women's fight. Women's flyweight, Karine Silva versus Diane Barboza. So Barboza's taking this on short notice, so I am going to go with Karine Silva here. They're both submissions artists, more or less. They want to be in the grappling department. Main thing here, though, take away from here, Karine Silva has been in a training camp. She was supposed to fight J.J. Aldrich. Here, though, Diane Barboza taking it on short notice. I just think Karine Silva is going to be able to outwork her a little bit there. 30-27 decision is what I'm thinking by Silva. Now, the fight card fully starts. Technically, the early prelims might be interesting. The women's fight, meh. This one, though, let's talk about this. So, let's pull it up on the side. So, Brian Battle, Nursultan Ruziboev. I'm going to go with Brian Battle. A lot of people have been picking Ruziboev. I'm not sure why. I think they've both had their test at welterweight. This one is at middleweight. I'm not really sure why we're fighting at middleweight now, considering Brian Battle's look good. I just think Brian Battle has not been more tested at welterweight. I just think he's had more success than Ruziboev would have at welterweight. I don't think Ruziboev would beat Randy Brown, even though I don't think Randy Brown or Brian Battle beat Randy Brown in that fight. But he still got this decision. It's got to be fairly close for you to get a robbery most of the times. Not even a robbery. It was a close fight. I won't even say it was a robbery. But yeah, I'm going to go with Brian Battle, lighter man skill. Obviously, that doesn't really make sense for Brian Battle, considering he was a heavyweight at one time. If you've never seen that, look up the clip of him getting head kick KO'd at heavyweight. It's pretty insane, considering he looks like this now, and then he used to be a lot bigger. So, with that being said, I am going to go with Brian Battle. It's just, I don't know, 36-9. Ruziboev's lost a few. He's looked good in his last bit. I just think Brian Battle is going to take this one. I'm going to go with a 29-28 decision. I'm going to say it's going to be close, like the Brian Battle fight. Not the Brian fight, the Randy Brown fight. Some people might say it's a robbery, but I think Brian Battle is going to take it in a close decision. Edson Barboza versus Drakkar Klose. This one I'm a little worried about, I'm not going to lie. So let's see. Edson Barboza is 39 years old right now. Drakkar Klose 37. They're close in age. The main difference here is Edson hasn't fought in a year and 2 months, and his last fight was against Murphy, who fights in the co-main event. He did not look good there whatsoever. Drakkar Klose, though, he lost to Joel Alvarez. I'm not going to hold that against him. Joel Alvarez, I think, is going to be a top 5, top 10 UFC lightweight eventually. Edson Barboza, it's been so up and down for so long. Drakkar Klose has been pretty steady. He's had his few losses. He had his loss to Benil. He's had his loss to Joel. It's really good people he's losing to. He's also been pretty active recently. He did have that one layoff, but over the past year, he's fought 3 times, a year and 8 months. Laurent Murr, or not. Edson Barboza hasn't fought in a year and 2 months. I just think Drakkar Klose at this point in their career, I think Drakkar Klose is just going to catch him. He's been in there more recent. Edson Barboza's going up a weight class. That kind of worries me. I did like him at featherweight. Lightweight, he just couldn't really seem to hang in there anymore, which is why he went down almost like the Jose Aldo situation, because he's lost too many times at the weight class. I just think Drakkar Klose is going to take this. It's that point in the career. Edson Barboza, we might see him one. This might be his last fight. It could be. We might see him one more. Drakkar Klose, I'm sure we'll see a handful more times. So that's where we're at. I'm going to go Drakkar Klose. I think he's going to catch him early. I'm going to say round 1 TKO. I just think he's going to catch him with a big left hook, big right hook. Edson's not going to be expecting it. He's going to get caught. Going to get kind of flash dropped. And it's going to be a premature stop, which is what I think. Edson's going to pop back up like, what? But you know how he kind of does when he gets stopped? He's a little wobbly still. And you're like, oh, no, it was stopped. It was stopped right. He's going to complain. Drakkar Klose is going to get it, though. Done early. Now, Chase Hooper versus Alexander Hernandez. This is my lock of the card by far. Alexander Hernandez is not winning. Chase Hooper, 6'1" at lightweight. Yep, he's skinny. Alexander Hernandez, 5'9". He's shorter. Just a block of muscle, though. Chase Hooper's going to win this. Alexander Hernandez seems to get tired in every single fight he has. Chase Hooper is going to grapple the entire time. I'm going to say for the first 2 rounds, you're like, oh my God, Alexander Hernandez might win this going into the third. I think in the third round, Chase Hooper's going to put the pressure on and get the finish. He might even get it in the second round. Alexander Hernandez just doesn't have the cardio or the gas tank to. Alexander Hernandez, or Chase Hooper's the minus 290 favorite. Alexander Hernandez is a 240 underdog. Austin Hubbard, you had a split decision with. That bothers me a lot. With that being said, I'm going to go Chase Hooper. I'm going to say probably rear naked choke. I don't think he's going to finish him on the feet. I don't think Chase Hooper has that much finishing potential. He did finish. Who did he finish? Borshev. He finished Borshev. He rocked him and then got the Darce choke. With that being said, though, Chase Hooper is on a hot streak right now. He's taking out all the unks. Now he's actually finally getting somebody a little bit younger, a little bit more in their prime, I will say. But even this isn't the Alexander Hernandez we know from the Cowboy Cerrone fight. The Cowboy Cerrone fight, I remember the press conference. Alexander Hernandez is roasting him at the press conference. He's a big favorite beforehand. And everybody's like, oh, dude, Hernandez is going to go out there and smoke old man Cowboy. Didn't happen. I think that was peak Alexander Hernandez's career. Ever since then, it's just been up and down. Chase Hooper's a constant good flow right now. I'm going to go Chase Hooper, third round submission. After Alexander Hernandez looks good in the first, he always looks good in the first. It's kind of just one of those fighters. He's like, dude, if he could get his cardio and set for 5 rounds and push a good constant pace, he'd be great. But it's just kind of just like a 1 round, the first round slow, 2 round fighter. But after that, it's just kind of slow. Chase Hooper, third round submission. That is my lock of the card, though. Like, I would put money on this more than any other fight. Jessica Andrade, Lupi Godinez. I'm going to go with Lupi. Jessica Andrade has been so inconsistent later in her career. She also hasn't looked good. She's kind of just there. Like last fight card we talked about, there's fighters that are just there. That's the Eric Anders. That's, what's his name? Coached by Pat Barry. Alonzo Minifield. That's like the king of just being there. Jessica Andrade just entered that group. She's just been there. 26-14 versus 13-5. Both the records are pretty mid at that. Jessica Andrade is a little bit worse. Jessica Andrade is the 150 underdog here. But, I mean, Jessica Andrade, her last fight, Jasmine Jasudavicius. That's not a bad loss to have. Before that, Natalia Silva, not a bad loss. Before that, She beat Marina Rodriguez. I think that point in Marina Rodriguez's career. She's retired now. I think she was kind of 1 foot out the door. She lost to Tatiana Suarez. After seeing Weili Zhang beat Tatiana Suarez, that makes me worry about that. She also looked awful in that Tatiana fight. Lupita, though, her last loss was Mackenzie Dern. That's alright. Jessica Andrade beat Mackenzie Dern by TKO. I just think there's been such a shift in that short time period. I'm going to go with Lupi Godinez. 29-28. I think Jessica Andrade is going to look bad in the first two. She might rock her in the third. Like dude, she's got to get her out of there. I just don't think she has the best decision making whatsoever. She's kind of just there most times. Sometimes she goes out there and she stalks her prey, takes him out. Or kind of sometimes she's just there. That's the issue. Moving on. GM3 versus Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. This one's hard to pick. This one is hard to pick. My brain's telling me to go with GM3. He's going to get turned in the third round. Because if you look at it, Mikhail hasn't looked that good. Yeah, he got his last one against Cedric Dumas. That's Cedric Dumas. I don't rate that high at all. Everybody, I feel like, is picking Oleksiejczuk, though. But I'm like, at the same time, he lost to Sharon Magomedov. He lost to Kevin Holland. You lost to Kevin Holland by a submission. Yeah, he rocked him. Granted, Chin Holland he rocked, but he got submitted. Michelle Pereira made him look easy, went out there, submit him. GM3's 37, though. I'm not going with GM3 just because of that. Mikhail, I'm going with Mikhail. He's training at the Fighting Nerds now. GM3's at Kill Cliff. That's a great gym. Both of those are great gyms. GM3 also is not the same. GM3 3 years ago that would have fought Brad Tavares would have taken him out of there in the third. Brad Tavares kind of just went to an easy decision there. It's not the GM3. It's like, oh, I'm going to finish you in that third round. That's where I'm at. Looking at this on paper, I feel a little bit better. He had a close fight with RDR before he got submitted. I'm not looking at this anymore. Mikhail, round 1 KO. There's too much confidence right now. He looked confident in his last fight after losing 3 now that he's just with the Fighting Nerds. Yeah, I'm going to go Mikhail. First round, I think he's going to catch him early. GM3's not going to be able to recover. Up next, Bobby Green versus Diego Ferreira. This one's pretty easy too. Diego Ferreira is going to sleep Bobby Green. I'm confident in that. Bobby Green has had some vicious KOs in his past fights. Ruffy, spinning heel kick, slept him. Bobby Green got absolutely dog-walked by Paddy Pimblett. Bobby Green had the win against Jim Miller. Jim Miller's an unk at this point. It's not Jim Miller of 2-3 years ago where he was beating all the up-and-comers. That Jim Miller, I think, would have won. But I don't know. Bobby Green. Then before that, the Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner's retired from the sport now. Jalen Turner practically murdered him in that fight. That was really bad. It was super late stoppage, too. I feel like ever since then he hasn't been able to recover. Diego Ferreira, though, yeah, he lost to Grant Dawson in his last fight. Kind of just got outworked there. But Mateus Rebecki, he beat Mateus Rebecki by KO, or TKO, more or less. He beat Michael Johnson by flatline KO. That overhand, beautiful. I think he's just going to hit Bobby Green with the same thing. Bobby Green, 38. Diego Ferreira, 40. Diego Ferreira, 40 is a lot different than a Bobby Green, 38. And that's what we're going to say here. I am just going to go with him. I think he's going to flatline Bobby Green. I feel like Bobby Green's just, he kind of sticks his chin out there. Like, oh, hit me. Like, oh, yeah, I'm going to bob and weave and roll with this one. Yeah, I hit you with a jab that didn't hurt. Oh, yeah, I'm going to hit you with another. Oh, look. I'm taunting, boom. Hit with an overhand slap. I'm going to go Diego Ferreira. I'm going to say middle round, second round, flatline KO. I think Bobby Green's going to be up. He's going to be tagging him with a jab. I think that's going to be the story here. When you're watching this fight, remember me talking about Bobby Green's jab. I think he's going to be snapping that head back. Eventually, Diego's just going to step in, throw the overhand. He's going to catch him. He's going to sleep him. That is my pick there, though. Moving on to the main card, Kai Asakura versus Tim Elliott. Kai's going to win this. His last fight was against Pantoja. He was a millimeter away, maybe a centimeter away from knocking out Pantoja with that knee, or at least rocking Pantoja with that knee. Tim Elliott, he's been super inconsistent. We haven't seen him since, what, 2023? It's the big 2025 now. I don't know. There was one point where Tim Elliott was super consistent in his career and it was constant fights all the time. I don't see that anymore. It's slowed down. He's 38. Kai Asakura is 31 years old. He's about to be 32 in a couple of months. I don't know. That Pantoja fight, he looked good until he got taken down, obviously. Tim Elliott might take him down, run a grappling clinic. I don't think so. I think Kai Asakura is going to go out there and just starch him in the first. I think there's so much confidence there. Even with the Pantoja fight, he went straight for him. I think with Tim Elliott being inconsistent, I think Kai's going to go out there and smoke him in the first round. It's going to be my pick there. Moving on. Jared Cannonier versus Michael Venom Page. All the hardcore, let me say, MMA fans have been picking Michael Page. They're like, yo, you're dumb if you pick Jared Cannonier. And they try to turn and twist your words and say that you're the casual for picking Jared Cannonier. I'm going with Jared Cannonier. Oh, Michael Page is too light. Lighter man skill on the feet. Michael Page got murdered by Ian Gary in the grappling. Obviously, Jared Cannonier might not be as good as Ian Gary in the grappling. But when Michael Page gets grappled, he looks like a fish out of water. Jared Cannonier is going to be so much bigger. Yeah, he's 5'11". He's going to be so much more muscular. That's the main thing. I just think Michael Page, obviously, and the low kick, too. Jared Cannonier's got good low kicks. Nobody really goes to low kick Michael Page. That's going to nullify half the kicks and the constant bouncing. Jared Cannonier's got good low kicks. That's going to be my prediction. It's going to be a 29-28. I'm going to say, 29-28 decision, Jared Cannonier. I think he's going to nullify Michael Page, the bouncing movement with a low kick. No one ever attacks the low kick because they're afraid to get hit with a 2. I think Jared Cannonier is going to have good defense, going to land a few hard low kicks, and it's going to stifle that movement a little bit. He's going to take him down. I think once he gets him down, they'll stay there the whole time. So I'm going to go with Jared Cannonier decision there. That one's fairly easy. A lot of people are picking Michael Page. He beat Shera. Shera was kind of just there in that fight. I'm not going to lie. I'm going with Jared Cannonier. Might regret that. I don't think so, though. I don't think so at all. This one, Jeff Neal, Carlos Prates. This one I think is pretty easy to pick. I think Carlos Prates is going to sleep him fairly easy. Yeah, Carlos Prates didn't do anything in the first 4 rounds of the Ian Gary fight, but in the 5th round, when he actually did something, he almost got him out of there. It was a solid 10-8 round. Jeff Neal, though, his last fight was who? RDA. This is the big 2025. Yeah, you should be beating RDA. Before that, though, he had the Ian Gary fight. He looked awful, and this is Jeff Neal we're talking about. And then he got beat by Shavkat. He only gets hyped up because of the Shavkat fight. I just think so Jeff Neal moves to the side a lot like this. That's his big thing. He's got big lateral movement. Then he'll kind of go forward and back. I think Carlos Prates is going to land the body kicks. He's going to hit a few front kicks. I think that's going to be the story of this fight, is going to be the kicks. Jeff Neal's going to kind of bob and weave when he's going to go in. He's going to pressure, and he kind of does the Mike Tyson almost, where he's got his head, and then he lunges in. I think Carlos Prates is going to kind of pop him with the kicks, front kick as he's coming in. I think eventually, though, Carlos Prates is either going to catch him with a 1-2, or he's going to catch him with a knee up the middle as Jeff Neal's coming in. I think Carlos Prates is going to be either big knee, he's going to step off to the side, Jeff Neal's going to fall face first, he's going to go for the ground and pound, referee's going to pull him off. I see it. Or I think Carlos Prates is going to, it's almost going to look like the Kevin Holland versus Buckley fight, where he catches him right at the end of the 1-2, and it's just going to be too much power. Because Carlos Prates got some power. He might smoke some cigarettes now and then, but he's got some power. With that being said, I just think he's going to catch him. Jeff Neal. I like Jeff Neal. I really like Jeff Neal. That's nothing to do with my pick, though. Carlos Prates. I think he's going to sleep him. I'm going to say first round he's going to tag him up to the body. I think early second round he's going to get a finish here. I feel like a lot of these fights are fairly close on paper, but if you just look at it, not through some gold rose-colored glasses, whatever the saying is, I think if you just stylistically think about it, a lot of these fights are easy to pick. Talking about easy picks. This one pisses me off. I like Aaron Pico. I used to watch Aaron Pico all the time in Bellator. I used to wrestle. Aaron Pico was a really good wrestler. I would watch his highlights and learn things from there, almost like Bo Nickel too. Aaron Pico has not beat anybody UFC caliber. He's lost to people that aren't UFC caliber. UFC's investing so much stock in Aaron Pico, he's the minus 135 favorite in this fight. Why? I have no clue. Oh, he's got good grappling. Yeah. Oh, he's got Dan Ige hurt Lerone Murphy. Okay. Alright. Aaron Pico's been slept by 3 people way worse than Dan Ige. Okay. Like, I don't care that Dan Ige rocked Lerone Murphy. That's not the issue here. Lerone Murphy is a solid UFC fighter. What's he ranked? He's ranked something in the top 10, I would say. Pico's not winning. Murphy's going to win this by decision. I'm going to say 30-27. It's going to be a complete shutdown. He's beat UFC caliber people. Aaron Pico has not beat anybody. He's lost to people that aren't UFC caliber. This one's an easy pick. People are picking Aaron Pico, and there's so much hype on Aaron Pico. I don't understand. We've seen this with all the Bellator fighters. They're not on UFC level. UFC is the best league in the entire sport. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Lerone Murphy's going to make this look easy. 30-27. Moving on to the final fight of the night. Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. This one is interesting. Khamzat Chimaev could go out there, take him down in the first round, submit him. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Dricus du Plessis is going to cut a rope, and Anvil's going to fall, and Khamzat Chimaev is going to lose. I think that's the main thing. For real though, Dricus du Plessis, I saw an interview. It might have been with Guru or it was somebody else. Dricus du Plessis talked about, instead of the issue with everybody with Khamzat, is they try to get up and then they make a bad decision and he catches a submission. He talked about just holding guard and going from there, building back up. With that being said, I think that's what Dricus is going to do. I think the first round Khamzat is going to stand for a few seconds. He's going to shoot. I'm sure Dricus is going to get taken down. But I think he's just going to stay in full guard. We haven't seen any vicious, insane ground and pound from Khamzat. They're like, oh, dude, he's taking du Plessis if he does that. We haven't seen that. I think du Plessis is going to get taken down. He's going to hold full guard. I think he's going to eventually get up. I think Khamzat's already going to look tired. Dricus du Plessis might get taken down again, but I think he'll start landing toward the end of the first round. He'll either be on the ground still from the first takedown, or he'll be up, landing a few low kicks, jabs, body kicks. Khamzat, he'll get back into it the next round. I think we're gonna get to the second round. Dricus du Plessis is gonna start tagging him. This is gonna be where the momentum shift happens. I think that's gonna be the biggest thing in this fight. Is gonna be that momentum shift. Once that happens, Khamzat cannot win. Khamzat, I think, has a 3-minute, 4-minute window to win this fight. After that, the other 21 minutes is Dricus du Plessis. I don't see Chimaev winning after 4 minutes. I don't think it's going to happen. Dricus du Plessis is going to get in there. He's going to start tagging him in the second round. Khamzat's going to start lazy shooting. He's going to start shucking him off. We might get to the third. It's either going to be late second round or early third round. Khamzat is going to shoot. Dricus du Plessis is going to catch a submission, and he's going to submit, and Khamzat's going to tap. I don't think he's going to go to sleep. I think Dricus du Plessis is going to tap out Khamzat Chimaev from him shooting with a lousy takedown after he's gassed. That is my pinpoint prediction. Pretty confident in it. Khamzat, if he goes out there and ragdolls him, I never made this video, you never saw this, this never actually even happened. But I think Dricus du Plessis is going to win. He's just, dude, they're the same age. They're the same exact age. 31, both are 31. Dricus du Plessis done so much in his career. Khamzat can barely make it to the octagon. Khamzat's the minus 210 favorite. I don't care. After seeing the Aaron Pico odds, I could care less what the odds are. Dricus du Plessis on the tear. Yeah, Khamzat Chimaev's on the tear. He had a close fight with Gilbert Burns. Oh, but not Brad Tavares. Who was it? Had Derek Brunson had Dricus du Plessis' back. It's because you don't have to worry about Dricus or Derek Brunson jumping on your back and submitting you. That's not gonna happen. Derek Brunson's a lazy kind of fighter. It's not high like, oh, I'm gonna jump on your back and submit you. It's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna kind of jump up there. I'm gonna be up there for a minute. That's it. Khamzat can do that though. Khamzat can jump on there and submit you. It's gonna be different. He's gonna have a different game plan. He's not dumb. He's goofy. He is goofy. And I don't think the goofiness is what's going to win in this fight. I think it's going to be strict. I think he's going to look good. There might be some goofy body kicks, things along those lines. But I think he's going to get him out there. Or late second or early third round. Khamzat's going to shoot. I think he might catch a guillotine, anaconda, Dars. And then he's just going to choke him out. Everybody's going to tap. Everybody's going to go, oh, it's locked in. Is he going to get out? And then it's over. Khamzat taps. That's UFC 319. Dricus du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. Everybody's talking about, oh, Khamzat Chimaev looked 10 times bigger from that angle in the recorded video where they shook each other's hands. It was recorded 15 feet behind Khamzat Chimaev. At Chimaev's butt, recording up to his head. Yeah, he's going to look better. Look bigger. It's perspective. That's how that works. Dricus du Plessis, not an easy win. First round's going to look rough. After that, it's going to be easy. Big momentum change. That's my prediction and breakdown for UFC 319. I'll be watching the fights live this weekend. Come join me. If I get the pick wrong, you might not ever hear from me again. But hey, I did good on the last card. Last card we went 10-2. Card before that 8-4. I'm 2-0 in main events on the channel so far. I think Dricus du Plessis is going to keep it up. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe. Argue with me in the comments. If you're a Khamzat Chimaev fan, please let me know, because I'd love to argue with y'all. Y'all hype this man up way too much, I feel like. He hasn't done enough for me to be like, oh yeah, he's taking Dricus du Plessis out, who's done way more. Argue with a brick wall.